7th, History. Chapter number 9, Religious Beliefs.
Hello children, welcome to your social science class. Today I am going to start a new chapter in history, chapter number 9, Religious Beliefs. In this chapter, we will be mainly studying about two major religious movements during the medieval period. First was the Bhakti movement and the second was the Sufi movement. The word Bhakti means devotion. So both of these movements, they were basically focusing on objective. The teachings of both the movements were the same. Both of them gave the common message, the way to find God, love to the mankind, etc. The teachers, the saints of Bhakti movement, they composed hymns, they sang bhajans in praise of God, whereas the Sufi saints, they expressed their devotion to the Lord through music. Both the movements taught the same thing, that was to help the needy people and to lead a very simple life. So, in other words, we can say Sufi or Sufism. It comes from the word Suf, and it is a kind of a coarse garment that was worn by these saints. Both the movements influenced the life of the people in a great way. Now we'll study about the Bhakti tradition. This Bhakti movement became very common in South India from 8th century onward. It took many people away from Buddhism, Jainism, and the traditional Hinduism. It stressed on the union of the individual with God. The 12 Alvar saints and 63 Myanmar saints from Tamil Nadu, who lived from 7th century to middle of the 9th century, they preached about bhakti or devotion to God. These saints came from different castes and they followed different professions. They preached the path of surrendering oneself to God, means one should giving everything in the hand of God and accepting every outcome as the grace of God. These saint poets traveled from one place to another and they used to sing the hymns in the praise of God. The Chola kings, on the other hand, they built the temples at the places which were visited by these saints. Now we'll study about the Bhakti saints. During the early medieval period, Shankaracharya, also called Adi Shankara, and Ramanuj, they spread the message of Bhakti in South India. Shankaracharya was born in 9th century in a village called Kaladi in Kerala. He was an amazing genius who helped in the revival of Hinduism. He worshipped Lord Shiva and he also inspired the whole country by his books, commentaries and arguments. He established 5 centers of learning called maths. He believed that there is no difference between the soul of the God and the soul of the human being. According to him, the way to salvation was only by the way of acquiring knowledge. Salvation means to be saved from danger or from any kind of loss. Whereas Ramanuj, on the other hand, taught people to put themselves completely in the hand of God. He said that just by loving God and by doing the good work, the good deeds, one can save his soul. According to Ramanuj, Bhakti was more important than knowledge. In the course of time, the Bhakti movement spread to the other parts of India, and these saints, they became very popular among the people. The saints of Maharashtra like Namdev, Tukaram, Janeshwar, and Eknath. They popularized the worship of Vitthal, that is, the form of Lord Vishnu, in the region of present-day Maharashtra. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahapurusha, also called Chaitanya, he composed many hymns in the praise of Lord Krishna, and he also popularized Krishna Bhakti in Bengal. Chaitanya was born in Bengal and he was the devotee of Krishna. His teachings attracted both Hindus and Muslims and even the people from the low caste. He emphasized universal love as the first step to the love of God. According to him, music was the most important means of expressing one's bhakti. Tulsidas, also known as Goswami Tulsidas, was a renowned saint and poet, and he was very famous for his devotion to Lord Rama. You must have heard about Surdas. He was a 16th century blind Hindu devotional poet and singer, and he wrote many lyrics in praise of Lord Krishna. Another Bhakti saint was Mirabai. She was also a devotee of Lord Krishna. She wrote many bhajans in which she expressed her love and devotion to Lord Krishna. Now we'll study about the teachings of these Bhakti saints. According to these Bhakti saints, selfless love and devotion, they were the important ways to come close to God. One was supposed to have a pure heart and mind, and closeness to God, according to them, could not be found just through some ceremonies, rituals, sacrifices, or by giving up the world. According to them, there is only one God, and all the people are equal in the eye of God. According to them, a human being should help the other human being, and knowledge was considered to be an essential part of bhakti, and that could be gained only through a teacher or a guru. Everyone should live a pure and a simple life. These were some of the teachings of the Bhakti saints. Moving further, we'll study about Sant Kabir, the mystic poet and a philosopher. Sant Kabir Das was the greatest saint poet of the Bhakti movement. He was born in Kashi, also called Varanasi now. You must have read about Dohas of Kabir, which are the part of every school child's textbook today. There are many interesting stories about his birth, upbringing, and his death. There is very less information about his early life, but there are many legends and traditions about him. According to some people, there is one story that he was found by a Muslim weaver and his wife who adopted him. But there are some others who believe that he was really the son of the Muslim weaver. Through some sources, we also come to know that the weaver and his wife taught him the weaver's trade, while there are some other sources through which we come to know that he never got married, and whereas the others believe that he was married and had 2 children. Moving further, we'll study about his philosophy. To Kabir, God was Ram, Hari, Govinda, Allah, or Sahib. He didn't believe in any rituals like idol worship, going on pilgrimages, or taking holy dip in river, or even doing namaz. He just wanted to unite all the caste, and he wanted to do away with all the differences between people, Hindu or Muslim, Brahman or Shudra, rich or poor. He spoke out fearlessly, and his whole teachings, they were in the form of short poem. He gave a lot of stress on purity of character, means the character of one person should be pure, and his conduct and learning a simple life that was dedicated to bhakti. He preached ahimsa, which means non-violence, and he also asked people not to kill animals for their food. Sant Kabir gave importance to a guru. The guru, he believed, showed people the right path. He regarded Swami Ramanand as his guru. The religion of Kabir was the religion of heart open to all. This means he had no faith in differences between the caste. Most of his followers, they were men and women from the so-called low caste of the society. He wanted that there should be a unity between Hindus and Muslims. He tried a lot to bring about the harmony between the Hinduism and the Islam. His followers, they were both Hindu and Muslim. According to a legend, it is said that when he passed away, there was a dispute among the Hindu and the Muslim followers as to the disposal of his body. When the sheet covering his body was removed, they found only a heap of flowers. The Hindus took half and burned them, while the Muslims, they buried the other half. His teachings, they were kept alive by most of his disciples and the followers and have been passed down to us. The followers of Kabir, who also believed in religious harmony, they are known as Kabir Panthis. Most of the teachings of Sant Kabir are in the form of small poems called dohas or couplets. Some of the other works of Kabir were Kabir Vani, the words of Kabir, which was written and compiled much after he passed away. A major part of Kabir's work was collected by Guru Arjan Dev, the fifth Sikh Guru, who incorporated them into the Sikh scripture Guru Granth Sahib. Kabir's work consists mostly of two-line couplets known as Kabir Ke Dohe. So with this, we come to an end of our first video. Hope you all have understood. Thank you.